Hello everyone. If I had ever come close at all in wanting to do one of those unboxing videos, it was with this machine. We've been waiting for this wood chipper for several weeks now, and we're just tickled to death now that we've got it. If you're anything like us, when you're looking to buy something, especially a large piece of machinery like this, you go out and you do a lot of research, you talk to people, get their opinions, and try to make sure you're doing the most informed decision that you can. But sometimes it's hard to find a good review or good information from anybody other than the manufacturer. So I wanted to give you a little bit of information on why we chose this particular wood chipper. Number one, we wanted to make sure it would stand up to the kind of workload that we were going to put it under. Found a few good review sites that told us that the ones that you would buy in the big box hardware stores were absolutely great if you were just had a small yard and needed to do a little seasonal work, just trimming back the ornamental bushes, if you will. But we've got 7 acres, and we knew we were going to put a lot of work through this machine, and we know once we have everything the way we want to around here with our fruit trees and our own ornamental shrubs and such, that we would have the seasonal things as well. And we just felt like we were going to do more than what one down from the store was going to do for us. But there were also ones that were rated for more of a commercial level, and we just really didn't have that in our price point. It would have been nice to have one that had a powered chute on it that made a nice big pile of chips in top of our truck bed or some other place. But we just didn't really have the money to do that. We couldn't find one anywhere near us that was used that we would want to buy. And so we settled on this one. This is made by a company called MacKissic, and number one, made in the USA. So that made us feel pretty good right there. In fact, the first thing my wife said when she saw it is how stout that it looked. And sure enough it is. I can't quote to you the gauges of steel or anything else, but the machine is built to last. And just by putting your hands on it, just by being in front of it, you can tell that. And that makes me feel really good that it's going to give us years of use here. Second, it had a lot of different options in it. It has removable screens, so we can choose if we want to mulch at a 1 inch or all the way down to a 1/4 inch. And that might sound a little ridiculous to you, and I'll even show you why that is a little ridiculous. But the machine itself is not just marketed for making wood chips. That's probably what we'll use it the most for, but it can process food materials such as hay and other feeds for your livestock. We actually plan to use it to take dried out rabbit manure and mulch it down for not only gardening beds but also worm bins and things like that as well. And we already had to try it, and it works fantastic. So let's show you a little bit about this. This is one of the screens. It comes with a 1 inch screen, which I'm going to recommend that it works just great. If you're looking to buy the machine and you're worried that you don't want to pay that extra money for a different screen or other accessories, don't sweat yourself over it. Get the machine just as it comes and you will be happy. This is the 1/4 inch screen. You can see the little holes going all throughout it, and it's simply the machine simply has a couple of pins that go through the machine that latch on with little cotter pins and hold the screen in place. And essentially the material comes down in either from the hopper directly into the hammer mill system, or in through the chute where it is first chipped and then through the hammer mill system. And it's inside of an enclosed area that until the material has been reduced in size enough to pass through the screen, it just stays in there. So that's how the screen works. If you're not familiar with it, another reason we chose this machine is because of the hammer mill or the flail system. It seemed to have a lot more durability to it. This one in particular has 24 flails on it. And what interests me is that they're dull, purposefully. The flails are just really rectangle stock stainless steel, and as they spin around they chew everything up and spit it out through. And because they're dull, you have actually 4 different edges. So if over the years one edge starts to wear a little, you can go in and rotate that around and work on the next edge until you go through all 4 edges. And of course the system comes with a operator's manual that kind of gives you a rotation schedule, if you will. Now this particular device is the MacKissic 12PT. It's one of their Mighty Mac chipper shredders. It's rated at a 3.5-inch log through the chipper, or through the hopper it can take anything up to 1 inch. So I'm going to process a couple dry sticks here that we have. Something I'll mention is that the operator's manual says that wet material, or like a freshly cut sapling, is going to process through this easier and better than the dried material. So watch how it handles the dry material, and you can expect better from your fresh clippings. Okay everyone, before I start the machine up, I'm not much of one to harp on safety, but let's keep in mind what the purpose of this machine is. It is designed to chew up and spit splinters. So the machine itself, this particular one, came with safety glasses, earmuffs, and gloves. Take the opportunity to make use of those. There's no sense in messing around with it. And while I won't say what the operator's manual does, I will say teach your children about this machine. It's not necessarily that you have to keep them away. There certainly is an appropriate age, but make sure they understand what it is and have respect for it. Okay, so here we are. This is using the standard 1-inch screen that it comes with, and if you look at this, that's some pretty fine material that came out of a 1-inch screen. Now mind you, some of this material was already starting to rot through, so it's probably why it shredded up so well. But quite honestly, I don't know why I would want to put the 1/4-inch screen in with wood chips. I'll probably use it at some point with the mulch for the rabbit manure, but just for the wood right up front, until I see different results off of maybe a different like a hardwood or something, that's perfectly fine. That piece right there is one of the bigger ones I've seen, and I mean it's not even half by half. So there you are. That is the MacKissic 12P.